It was Andrew. I forget.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, tonight, the League of Ordinary Gentlemen proudly bring to you the Fantasy Football 5. Introducing Quick Wit, Slow Feet, Ryan Robertson.
He's here.
Jake, Coach Rue.
Yeah, he's here.
And JT, the commish.
Always here.
Yay! Yay! There we go. That's the kind of excitement I like to hear when we're down to 3 people.
Addition by subtraction.
Addition by subtraction.
We got stronger.
Y'all heard that. The two that, the one that is not here and the one that
is never here.
I asked him, I said, he said, boy, how's the podcast going? And I said, it's going good. I said, you go come back sometime? Yeah, boy, I just been busy. I'm like, okay, well, are you ever going to not be busy? He said, boy, I might come this weekend. So,
y'all heard it. Tune in this weekend
for some hot takes.
The Fantasy Football 5
Is his
has
cousin
had
from
4
Wisconsin
people.
moved in yet?
Yeah, she got
she.
here.
Cousin from Wisconsin that goes to Wisconsin.
But it's not that same cousin.
Not that
It's
same
a different
cousin.
cousin.
She got here. He told me on Saturday she was getting here around 6 or 7 yesterday. Like that was the plan. So
We have a more likelihood of getting her on the podcast, who I've never met, over getting him back on it.
yeah, I mean you're probably right. I mean, I don't know the odds. I don't know.
He doesn't either. Can we handicap this thing?
Yeah, can we like place a bet or two on this?
Over under 20%.
You want to get my bet guy on
one.
the line? I can get my bet guy.
I know
on
a
the
guy.
line. I know it. Trust me. He'll throw some numbers down. We're floating. We're seeing what's happening.
Hey.
We're reading the odds. Gotta see what's going.
You got to read the room. See what the numbers doing. See what the odds going up, going down. We'll see what the sharps are doing. I don't know. Who knows?
I don't know. I'm about done with the whole gambling thing.
I like it. I like it.
I'm not. I'll lose money.
You didn't respond to the group message.
I like this
What's
shit.
the message?
I sent one out. I had me, you, Brian, and Jay. Well, you are JT. Me, you, and Tyler and Brian in it.
Sometimes my group messaging don't work very well. Sometimes I don't get messages until days later. Okay, I do see that.
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, Jake, I'm just going to tell you this. It was before I got up. I
Was it
slept
10
till about. It was at 9:07. I slept to about 10.
Well, it depends on what time zone you're in. It could have been a 10.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean,
I didn't mean to throw you off there more than one
I don't
time.
know where to go with that. Who am I? All right, so Jake's got a little. I don't know what you call this.
A question.
Jake's got
A hypothetical even.
Question to break the podcast.
Okay. To break the podcast? They might
Or to
put this
break
in the bag.
Or break the ice on said podcast.
Or break the internet. We might have 8 or 9 subscribers.
We might go
This whole-
1999 December 31st action going on.
Y2K?
Yeah, that was what it was called.
That is-
You get it.
All right, Jake, what you got?
So let's say this. You're
Say it.
kidnapped. You're taken hostage.
Okay.
You have to have one fictional TV crew to come save you. Who do you pick?
One fictional TV crew. Okay. This can be any television show in existence,
All right. Question though.
as long as it's fictional.
Is somebody videotaping their rescue attempt?
Is this part of the
All
show?
right. So
So
are
are we saying like this
is
could
an
be like
episode?
this could be like the season finale,
Oh.
and we're just an extra that's gotten kidnapped, and they have to come do that, and they're filming us.
Or is this like you are kidnapped in real life and somehow in
Those
some
characters exist
multi
in the multiverse.
in the multiverse, these characters exist and
I
they
like
come and
going
say,
with that the most.
okay,
Like
so the
your
Rick and
life
Morty.
is literally on the line.
Well, dang, I might have just answered.
Well, JT's got Rick and Morty on the board.
I might have just answered.
See, the reason
Hold on.
The reason why I was asking that first question is that we're being recorded because I might not live, but I'd like to see the guys from Seinfeld or How I Met Your Mother try to rescue me, because like knowing good and well they're not going to do it. They're going to have a good time. They're going to get sidetracked, and
I'm probably gonna die.
I'm going to end up dead. But I would enjoy that episode if I was
But you're not
not
gonna
involved.
Watch it. So
but I'm not going to live to watch it.
You're bringing joy to people's
Yeah,
lives.
it's not about me. Quit being selfish, you two.
Well, I haven't even answered yet. First off, so calm your tits.
I hadn't answered yet. I just said the
Well, you
multiverse
did.
like in Rick and Morty.
Okay.
So
I don't know if I'd pick Rick and Morty.
let's rephrase
to
it.
be honest.
With the highest success rate.
Okay.
Okay.
So what fictional TV crew would you want to come save you if you're looking for the highest success rate where you want to be saved.
Justice League.
Justice League.
That's cheating, though.
No, that's not cheating. It's just
I mean, it is.
you can do
So are we
better.
going cartoon, or
I'm
does it
not.
have to
I'm
be?
not.
It has to be.
I'm not going cartoon. What's your first suggestion? Rick and Morty?
I wasn't my first suggestion. I said in the multiverse,
That's
like
the
in
only
Rick and
show
Morty,
you've said.
because I was talking about the multiverse.
Okay.
Okay, mine. Oh man, mine. I know who I want saving me.
Okay.
Oh,
I want the three. And you know what three I'm talking about? I want
Charlie's Angels.
No, better,
Ooh,
better,
ooh,
better,
ooh.
better.
Like, hold on, time out. Before you go with this one, let's put this into perspective. If I'm going to get rescued, 3 hot women rescuing me.
You don't need
Now,
three.
now, if we're going that,
You don't need three.
if we're going
Because
off
the
that
one I'm
little
about to
show,
pick is it.
David Hasselhoff, Pam Anderson, Carmen Electra, Yasmin Bleeth.
Okay, so that's yours. That's who you're picking.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good rescue right there.
If they rescue me, I'm a happy man. If they don't and they show up, I'm still going to die a happy man. Either way.
Okay.
That Hasselhoff, man, that German pop singer. Woo, buddy.
So you're picking the cast of Baywatch.
Yeah, the original, not the extended years where
Yeah.
they like went in there started to have like time travel and all that kind of
I
stuff.
see what he's doing.
They had time travel?
Yeah, it was an extended
Like the
show.
multiverse?
Kinda. It was not good.
It's like Rick and Morty?
We're trying to explore those years.
All right, mine, I'm picking Niklaus, Elijah,
I was thinking about that.
Rebecca.
You should have started in the opposite order.
But this is going to be my counter argument to you because we've all watched the show at the table. Klaus is probably going to murder you.
Or
The originals
or-
is the show we're talking about here.
the originals. Or I could turn into a hybrid.
You got to be a vampire first, right?
You had to be a werewolf first.
Okay.
You got to kill somebody.
Who knows?
Yet again.
Have you seen me on a full moon? Think about it.
Back to my original
Yes.
answer.
Yes.
If Rebecca's there and I happen to die, gonna die a happy man.
Dude,
Hot blonde with an Australian accent, I'm in.
I like me some
And then his sister Rebecca shows up.
See where you went with that one. See where you went with that one.
I like
Now,
that
granted, I have to have an in first. Like, I'm not just like, hey, like if I get one phone call, like if I'm a hostage and they say, hey, here's your one phone call, like it's prison or jail. No, I'm probably not picking it.
Yeah.
But if I already have an in, oh yeah.
I mean, if Caroline showed up, I'm not gonna be mad about that either.
The
Or Elena.
Vampire Diaries. Okay, there we go.
Well,
Alaric.
Nah,
Yeah.
he can stay teaching classes.
I'm
I stay dropping out.
You don't like Alaric?
Yeah, he's fine.
He's all right.
He got
But if
worse.
I'm talking about rescues, I see what Ryan's going with the Baywatch.
No.
the
Fine.
Rebecca.
Say that one.
Are you staying with Baywatch?
No, I was just throwing that out there. I
All
haven't
right,
really
let's
thought
go.
of my serious one
Let's
yet.
go. Let's think of a serious one.
Okay, I've been through it. I've spitballed something. You haven't had a single show yet, Jake. Go.
I got 2 that come to my mind.
Mention.
immediately.
You gotta pick
Hey.
one. You gotta pick one.
A-Team.
The A team's up there.
Okay, they're mortal.
Now, now, are you talking about the A-Team like the movie with
No,
Liam
no,
Neeson,
no,
and Bradley Cooper?
no,
You talking
I
about
pity the fool.
Mr.
Hey everybody! Hey everybody!
Hey, there you go.
The other one, MacGyver, because look at all.
You
the
only
stuff
need one
he
guy.
got.
Mortal.
All right, done. Winner, chicken dinner right here. Give me Clarence Gilliard and Chuck Norris, Walker, Texas Ranger.
Holy hell! He
We
just
are
brought the
done,
fire.
son.
He just brought the fire.
son.
Chuck Norris,
Semi-mortal.
the only thing that could kill
Gilliard's
Klaus.
completely
Is
mortal. He's just a sidekick, though. He
That's
doesn't
why I
even do
said
it.
semi-mortal.
He's just driving.
Klaus died.
Then Chuck's just coming in.
I didn't finish it. I just
Yeah.
thought about that.
He died.
No,
Him
Well,
and
hey.
Elijah both died.
In order to become vampires, you all have to die.
that's true.
He died
So-
for his daughter.
Well, thanks for the spoiler.
But now you can watch
You ain't
Legacy, the
watching it.
spinoff.
I
You ain't been watching it?
didn't watch the last. I didn't watch the last
It
season.
is alright.
Wasn't that good?
I didn't watch the last 3 episodes, so I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
But
Now,
Walker,
now you do.
Walker, Texas Ranger is the answer.
Well, y'all are welcome. Didn't know
Okay.
that I was the only one to finish that.
It's
so
okay.
Spoiler alert. I didn't think any of y'all were going to go back to
I'm not.
it.
On a rainy day.
You know, another one just off the fact of like, to Ryan's point, Daenerys Targaryen.
Oh, buddy.
Bringing her dragons in.
Who?
Game of Thrones.
Amelia Clark.
Oh, the blonde hair girl.
Yes.
This in row. No. Solo.
Yes.
She's not blonde in that.
Yes.
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 Okay. Now I know you don't.
I thought you were going to say, was it Me Before You?
What about
That
Even-
rom-com that she was in.
And then even Stevens is going to be up there.
What?
Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, God. All right.
And Christy
This is-
Carlson
this is
Romano.
going-
Everybody remembers
Kim
her.
Possible. Kim Possible.
This is
also,
going too long. This is
the naked
going
mole
on.
rat. What?
Shia LaBeouf. What's he gonna do?
Shia LaBeouf is a top 5 actor right now. Change my mind.
Hey, if he brings Megan Fox from
I don't
Transformers, I'm in.
I want you to go around telling.
I want you to do
Do
it.
you
I
think
want
that?
You to do it.
Would you put Shia LaBeouf maybe in your top 5 actors right now?
No, but I really do like him in every movie he's in. I want to see.
I'm so big in on. I love Shia LaBeouf.
He's done some stinkers, but I do like him as an actor. For me, he's a very young Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
Like just off the rails, just crazy, but he's a method. I respect that.
I can't really take your opinion serious considering you love Ryan Reynolds so much.
I hate.
I hate everyone that doesn't like Ryan Reynolds. I know because of your burning love for him.
I will not watch movies just because Ryan Reynolds is in them.
Because
If I would have known,
That he was in Harold and Kumar, you wouldn't have watched it?
I didn't know. I didn't.
He's
like
in
Ryan
like
Reynolds.
40 seconds.
I didn't know. I
Ted?
didn't like. Huh?
Ted,
If I'd have known he was in it, I probably wouldn't have seen it. But I don't know. It's got Mark Wahlberg in it. So that
see,
might have
look,
counted
now
right
you're
up.
going
Yeah,
back on.
yeah.
I do, man. I cannot stand Ryan Reynolds. Golly, dude.
Didn't mean to get Trogdon work.
We went off the rails there for a second, but we all know your love for him.
Dude, I do not. I don't think Ryan Reynolds is funny, and I know that's the thing. Like Ryan Reynolds is funny. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. I ain't hating on people that do think he's funny, but I don't like it. That's what I'm saying. All right, we good. We good here. All right.
Yeah.
So who are you picking?
I mean, fantasy aside, with like the female, if I had to pick like actual rescue, and I'd probably pick like the 18.
Okay, and you picked Baywatch.
You never went
Hey,
serious.
they were crime fighters.
You never went serious.
You tell me Walker, Texas Ranger isn't serious?
All right. Okay.
So you're going Texas?
I said Justice League. I was just joking, but I don't know why that couldn't be the real answer. Get Superman and
It
Batman.
can be whatever
in there.
answer you wanted to be.
I'm still going Baywatch.
No, fair enough. All right,
Good
so Ryan, you got a little something for us as well?
All right. I don't know how well y'all do with college trivia.
Oh, so we're transitioning towards football,
yeah,
right?
we're going in the right direction, heading back towards sports.
Okay.
All
Let's
right.
hear it.
I've got a list of 25 Division I schools with nicknames or mascots that don't end with the letter S. So the mascot doesn't end with the
JT.
letter S. Now hold on a second. We're going to go back and forth NHL shootout style.
Okay.
So
I can
we're going to
start
give you
first?
5 chances each.
Y'all gonna start first? Is this
Yes.
my name
Well,
first?
I wanna,
And if you have after 5, if y'all are tied, we'll go to sudden death, back and forth. All right, JT. First Division I school with a nickname that doesn't end in an S.
Crimson Tide,
What school?
Alabama.
Alabama Crimson Tide. That's one. All right,
this is
Jake.
I mean, I've never put it into this group.
I think there's only 25, so
Is there a shot clock on
we'll
this?
go 10 seconds.
Whoa, just
Hold on,
just
now.
chill. I got this thrown out
After the first round, because we
I
didn't
just
have
got
time.
thrown
to
into
All right,
yeah,
fair
like,
enough.
I'm still trying to get my bearings together.
I mean, y'all both.
This
had
is right up your
last one.
alley.
You're out of this, aren't you?
I
Yes.
already know. Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
You're playing
That's-
against me, who knows nothing about college sports.
Yeah, but I'm trying. Like all the ones I'm thinking of, all have S at the end of it. I'm going through the Power 5 conference, and that's like all I'm getting. It's so bad, so bad because everyone's a freaking Tiger or freaking Spartan or Wolverine and whatnot.
All right,
my
I'm
gosh.
gonna count you
He's
down
bad.
from 20.
No, I'm trying to like by the time so I
18.
can think of one.
17.
This is not like
16, 15, 14, 13,
South
12.
Dakota State.
11. No. South Dakota State, I'm pretty sure they're the Jackrabbits,
Nah.
which is a plural. I'm pretty sure they're the
I
Jackrabbits.
just went with the.
So did I win this?
No, that's
Oh,
it's
okay.
one round of
All right,
nothing.
my
You
turn.
got 5
My
rounds.
turn.
Yeah.
My turn. Notre Dame.
Notre Dame
Right,
Fighting
nice.
Irish is on there. Back to you, Jake. Alrighty.
I don't have one.
Okay, back to me.
Is that a butt? Are you done?
Yeah, I don't have a clue.
Back to me.
Back to you.
Syracuse.
Syracuse Orange.
Just going all ACC schools.
Well, I mean, that is our bread and butter.
I got one that's not. My next one.
bread.
Go ahead.
I'm thinking 2 moves ahead.
Go ahead.
Are you giving up on this one, too?
I have
No,
no
I'm saying
idea on
if you
any of
don't get
these.
this one and he gets it, it's done.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I don't really care about this game.
Okay. Okay.
Illinois.
Illinois
Fighting Illini.
All right.
Hold on. Let's see if we can. Hold on. I'm on a roll right now.
If we can do it, I've already done this.
I'm on a roll right now.
Okay.
Give me a second.
I want to see if I can just get one.
You can get one.
Your sister went to law school here.
Elon?
Phoenix?
Strip.
Mm-hmm.
Strip. There you go, Jay. Got one.
I didn't. He got that one.
Golly. Those are the ones that popped in my head first.
I got accepted to engineering school with this one.
State?
NC State Wolfpack.
Okay.
I even thought of them.
I'm thinking there's one like
Christian McCaffrey went to school here.
Stanford
Cardinal.
Cardinal. Really?
But it just stops with
That's
one.
all it is, just Cardinal. Because it's
Weird.
I thought
it's not the
Cardinals.
bird.
What is it?
It's the
The
tree.
color?
Yeah.
Okay.
SEC just F me because all I can think of is the SEC.
I went out hot. I can live with
Y'all know UMass?
Who?
UMass?
University of Massachusetts.
Minutemen.
Of course.
Minutemen.
Okay.
Tulane.
Oh, I thought about Tulane. I don't know what they are though. The Green Wave.
Green Wave.
Hey. Okay.
All right, I'll just read off the rest.
Yeah.
The Bucknell Bison.
I wouldn't have got
Cornell Big Red.
Nope.
Dartmouth Big Green.
Nope.
Hofstra Pride.
Nope.
Howard Bison.
Nope.
Marshall Thundering
Oh.
Herd.
Okay.
Navy Midshipman. Nevada Reno Wolfpack. North Dakota State Bison, which is where I thought Jake was going, but he went South Dakota State.
He went Guilford College.
No, it was his
And
first
UNCG.
answer.
Oh.
Quakers.
And G-Tech.
Spartans. I never had a chance.
North Texas Mean Green. Presbyterian Blue Hose. St. Francis Red
The
Flag.
who?
Hose?
The who?
Blue Hose.
Spell in
It's like a water hose, not like
That's stupid.
Not like you.
That's stupid.
Not like your corner prowlers. State Francis Red Flash, St. John's Red Storm,
St. John's.
Tulsa Golden Hurricane,
And then all the ones I said.
William and Mary Tribe, and Wisconsin Green Bay Phoenix.
All right. I got the only ones that I could have got because I don't know any of those.
There were 3 in the ACC.
I was a little
so I thought
upset
y'all
about
were
not-
gonna get
No,
Wolfpack, Orange, and Irish.
I freaking hate fantasy football. I quit.
All right. Speaking of fantasy football, before we get into our matchup review, which I'm just gonna be honest with you, I'm not too excited to get into either. We're gonna take a look at some of the best pickups we've had thus far. Some of the best pickups we've had thus far this season. So,
Ain't none of mine.
you're right.
I know.
So to lead our, I guess, best pickups for this season, we'll start with the one that's fresh on my mind from Baba Booey, Baba Chewy,
I God bless you, a Chewy.
Andrew Ramsdale, question mark. So he's got 2 on this list. So not only does he have the guy that just kind of, I'm not going to say won his matchup for him, but his high score this past week, Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson, he picked him up after that 27-point game in week 3, and he went 12.3, solid. Went 3.8 last week, and I'm thinking, oh, man, he's got this dude in his lineup. He's got this dude in his lineup. Oh, this is going to be great. It's going to be great. He's going to score, 5 points? No, he's going to score 35 points.
Mm-hmm.
Freaking 9 receptions, 166 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a 2-point conversion.
Just as in a loss to the Falcons.
In a loss to the Falcons.
In which they were, I remember at one point Kirk Cousins had like 3 points at half or something like that.
I think
he threw 3 picks in the first.
Yeah, he was awful.
And he threw 3 touchdowns in the second.
or something at one time, I thought. They might not have been, but I felt like they were.
Minnesota.
Then again, the Falcons are always up 20-0 on somebody this year.
The fact that they didn't blow it is
Way to go, Dan Quinn.
yeah, I guess you gotta, I don't know.
Raheem
Do you
Morris.
give them props?
You got to do something. I did see a lot of memes today, though, that said the Falcons win their first game, and they're like, what did it cost? And it said the Braves. And I was like, daggum, that's a dagger. And
That's
then
a
I saw
dagger.
another one that said it cost Georgia losing to Alabama when they had a lead. And I was like, daggum, Atlanta did not have a good weekend. I think they would have been fine with the Falcons just sucking. And you get
Yeah, if you could, at what? They're what, 1-5 now?
Yeah.
You just take it. And it's just,
You take a nothing
You
win
just-
as a lost season.
yeah, it's just, all right, we can't, if we don't win a game, it's all right.
Right.
So, Baba Booey also has another top pickup Honestly, to be honest, he has several pickups that look pretty good right now. But another one he has, Jake, you know what it is?
Claypool.
No, he
Miles
picked up
Gaskin.
Miles Gaskin. Miles
Didn't
Gaskin.
he win Claypool? No, Scorpion.
Scored got
got
him.
Claypool, yeah.
Miles Gaskin, he picked up, I believe, in week 2.
Something like that. Yeah.
And he's been 11.2, 12, 7.7, 17.6, 14.6.
He was also the first person to pick up James Robinson.
Yeah, he picked him up.
He did. He did pick up James Robinson, who, I'm glad that you said that, Jake, leads us to our next top pickup of the year thus far. Because we are in, we're recapping week 6. So this coming week in our matchup preview
It's the halfway.
is the halfway point. So we'll have some awards to give out.
Ooh. Stay tuned, gentlemen and ladies.
So James Robinson,
Jordan.
Oh, it's you.
James Robinson on victim of the system. And James Robinson, just to look at what he's done this year so far, James Robinson, I hit the wrong button. James Robinson has been very good.
Consistent as they come.
Yeah, so James Robinson over his season game log, that's what I'm looking at. He has gone. I'm looking at stats.
All right.
You got the fantasy numbers, yeah? What's the fantasy
All right, week 1 going against Indy, which might be the best run defense in the league, 9.5. After that, 19.5, 27.9, 12.7, 7.5, and 13.3.
So I wonder. We need to put these guys and see where they are actually in our like player pool. See how they rank. We'll look at that a little bit later.
All right.
All right, we got a couple others. Ron, you got one of them.
Yeah, he got hurt yesterday, but old Jonnu Smith.
Jonnu Smith. You gave an interesting stat the other night about him per game.
Average per game, I think he was a little bit less than half a point per game less than Travis Kelce, coming up as the number 2 tight end on a per game basis before he got hurt in the early first half yesterday. But dude, I think he's got like 5 or 6 touchdowns.
Yeah,
and a run heavy offense. So
yeah, he's got 5 touchdowns, 18 receptions, 221 yards. Jonnu looks like 11.6, 22.4, 8.6, 18.5. And then you said he got hurt early in that game?
He got hurt in the first half, and they went and taped his ankle up and he tried to give it a go again, but then ended up coming out, and they ruled him out in the second half.
Okay.
But the other tight end for them, I think, had like 120. Ferksker?
Yeah. How do you say his name?
I don't know, but I was upset when I saw him on the field yesterday. But I think he had like 120
and
a touchdown.
113 and a touchdown.
I got this. Ferksker.
Thank you, Jake.
Well, any name I have a problem with, send it your way.
That's why I'm here.
Jake's the name guy.
Ferksker.
You got a tree guy, got a name guy.
You do have a tree guy.
All right. So
you know where he went to school? Stanford Cardinal.
Call him Collar.
So yeah, Jonnu, they're saying his ankle sprain is minor. So possibly a week.
He might miss a week, yeah. But they've already had their bye, so
that's true.
We'll figure it out. But the biggest one for me, I think Jake mentioned it a few episodes ago, the fact that this guy didn't get drafted when we were talking about our MVPs in the early season. Josh Allen did not get drafted.
He did not. There were a lot of quarterbacks that got drafted over him that probably shouldn't have been drafted at all.
And
I shouldn't say a lot, but there were.
And I think when he got picked up, I think somebody picked him up in the league and then turned around and dropped him before the season even started. And then I think he got picked up for no fab.
I'd have to go back and do some research.
I'll look while y'all keep talking.
Yeah, Josh Allen, he had a rough one tonight. 122 yards, 2 touchdowns.
It was pouring down rain though, so I give him
that. Last week was a little rough too. Not maybe so much from a statistical point.
Jake picked up Josh Allen.
That's right. I knew. I had a gut feeling.
The night after the draft.
Yeah, Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And then turned around less than a minute later and dropped him for looks like Kerryon Johnson.
Man, that's a good pick.
I think I was.
And then Reitmeyer dropped Laviscus Chenault Jr. to pick up Josh Allen the Wednesday before the season started.
I think I started Kerryon because of something.
You did, I believe.
Yeah.
You started Kerryon because Jonathan Taylor wasn't starting yet.
Yeah.
That was week
And
one.
it looked like Kerryon was going to start, and then Adrian Peterson signed with Detroit.
He did.
And then Reitmeyer, I think, has had Josh Allen the rest of the season.
Yeah, he's picked up and dropped Laviska Shenault a couple times, and Michael has Shenault now. Who?
Sorry, Shenault.
Yeah, that might be the kiss of death.
It might be.
It might be
Because he's looked pretty good in the past couple of weeks. It's been Keelan Cole's looked good, so
you
never know.
Michael, pick up Keelan Cole. I need DJ Chark to do
No, Michael, you've got Kenyon Drake, and it's starting to work because you've got Chase Edmonds. So keep doing what you're doing.
Keep doing your thing. Keep doing.
You got Cooper Kupp too, so just let Robert Woods come in.
All right, so there's one more on our.
Michael, try to trade for Le'Veon Bell. Is all I'm asking you, buddy.
Clyde looked good. All right, so we got one more on our best pickups of the season so far. Jake, he is on our favorite team. Who is it? This isn't a. Is this a
Mike Davis?
Mike Davis? Mike Davis. So Mike Davis, he left the game early yesterday. We got any news on him?
I haven't looked, and then
Yeah, he had to go poop.
Then McCaffrey coming back, it could be could it impact his fantasy value significantly?
For sure.
Bonafon's already on the IR.
Yeah.
And if McCaffrey doesn't get
No, I agree.
activated this week, Mike Davis might have to play banged up.
Oh, I clicked on the wrong team. So Squirt picked up Mike Davis. He kind of ran into a little bit of an issue of having maybe too much depth at running back because
Who's that?
Squirt. Because you look at his running backs over the past 2 weeks, he's just started the wrong ones.
Yeah.
That's why you just got to have a terrible team so you don't have to worry about it because you don't have any other options.
Yep, I know the feeling. So Mike Davis had, I believe, his worst game as a starting running back. Yeah, this past week. So since week 2.
But they played Chicago.
So week 2, he came in for McCaffrey, had those like 8 catches in the fourth quarter.
In the one quarter.
Yeah. Ended up with 11.5, week 3, 19.1, week 4, 19.6, week 5, 25.4, and this past week left the game early, 10.5. Been double digits every single week. But yeah, if McCaffrey is back this week, you got to think that Davis, does he have any standalone value?
I don't think he goes to where you can feel comfortable starting him. But at the same time, this isn't the same coaching staff that McCaffrey had last year where it was a straight bell cow.
Mm-hmm.
Matt Rule and them could figure out, hey, maybe we can find a role to have both of them be effective. Because, McCaffrey's coming off a major injury, so maybe you want to ease him back in or maybe even lighten his load. So, we've seen it. Successful offenses run with 2 running backs. Even if you just take McCaffrey off the field on some third downs. Yeah. Or maybe you spell him on one drive or something. McCaffrey, your offense is better with McCaffrey on the field, but Mike Davis has shown that offense can more than perform with him in there. He's very capable. Until
this week, they had won 3 straight with Mike Davis at the helm.
How many wins do they have with McCaffrey as a starting running back this week? This
year? He's only been starting running back twice, and they went 0-2.
Okay. So he's got the same amount of wins as a starter as Justin Herbert does.
Statistically, I guess you're correct.
But in that situation, Justin Herbert's more than outplayed Tyrod Taylor, but Tyrod Taylor's undefeated and Herbert's 0-4. But are we saying that one's a better player? No, but that is a statement that can be made because you do play to win the game.
You do. All right, I got one more question before we leave Mike Davis. Could you see him? All right. Mike Davis averages blank amount of touches per game the rest of the year. What's your number?
6.
Touches?
Yes.
I give him 6 is good. I'll go 8.
Yeah.
I was thinking around 8. 2 to 3 carries, 2 to 3 catches, something like that.
I was thinking around 8.
All right, I got a question before we go off Mike Davis.
Okay.
If he was still on the Bears, would he be starting over David Montgomery? Because last year he was the starter for the Bears, and they just wanted to push David Montgomery as that stud rookie so much, and he didn't do anything, but they kind of phased Mike Davis out. If he was still with Chicago right now playing the way he is, would he be starting over David Montgomery?
I think they've kind of got to the realization, don't push draft picks, push the best player.
They should.
Trubisky example. Like, I'm going to put the guy in that gives me the best chance. I think Nagy was real big on like trying to push the young guys, the building blocks, giving them excitement, young quarterback, young running back, etc. I think now it's kind of like, I got to win because I'm going to
keep your job.
Yeah, I mean, just from what I hadn't really ever paid attention to Mike Davis until this past month.
Right.
But dude, I've been impressed. I really have.
Like, hard.
He's always been he's a solid guy. Like, he's never going to be that flashy person, but he's just going to get you 3 or 4 yards carry. He can catch the football. He doesn't fumble.
I was trying to think yesterday when I was watching the Panther game who he reminds me of. Like, what running back?
Who he played like.
And I couldn't come up with like a great answer, but I mean, honestly, I think he's kind of like a Frank Gore type of back.
I was thinking like Frank Gore or late career Thomas Jones when he was in Kansas City.
Okay, yeah. A
little bit, not like Bears and Jets Thomas Jones, but late in his career where he did everything well, but he couldn't blow past you or exceed anything else, but he was just solid.
Yeah. Yeah. Mike Davis, you've earned some.
He's the Andre Miller of running backs.
The Andre Miller of running backs. That's Ryan's. That's
my alter
your play style.
That's my alter ego.
All right, so those best pickups we have. Who would you? So looking at
out of those Josh Allen.
Give me rank your top 3 out of those 6 that we named. What's your top 3?
For me, Josh Allen's 1, Justin Jefferson's 2.
Probably James Robinson.
It'd be between Robinson and Gaskin, but as far as position scarcity, I might have to put Jonnu on there because neither one of y'all have to worry about it because JT, you've got 2 tight ends, and Jake, you've got Kittle. But if y'all had to look for tight ends on the waiver wire this year, it is pretty tough. I mean, JT's got 2, Michael's got 4.
Yeah.
When Jonnu's game got canceled, 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I had to search the wire. And I
picked up Logan Thomas.
I picked up Logan Thomas, dropped Logan Thomas, picked Logan Thomas back up, dropped Logan Thomas, ended up starting Logan Thomas. I think he got me like 1.6 or 1.7. So, I mean, as far as position scarcity, Johnny's been really good, but James Robinson and Gaskin have been solid because I didn't think either one of them was going to have that starting job.
Okay, so I picked 3.
Already did.
You picked 4.
I took Josh Allen, Justin Jefferson, and Jonnu Smith.
Okay. All right.
Because of position scarcity.
All right, Jake, what if you
I did the same thing except for I took Robertson ahead of
Robinson over Jonnu?
Yeah.
Robertson over Jonnu? Okay. I would say mine right now it's going to be Josh Allen. I go number 2, I go Jonnu. And then number 3, I go probably James Robinson because he has a steady hold on that job.
Yeah,
he does.
That's a big thing, fantasy value.
Yeah, like you've got a running back getting 15+ touches a week. Tight ends are, like you said, just hard to freaking find, dude. Mm-hmm. And Jonnu has a lot of room even still to grow. And Josh Allen's Jonnu
might even still be a top 5 tight end with only having 1 point something.
He could be
1 point something yesterday, and then already having his bye week.
He could be
but that just shows you how bad the tight ends landscape has been. Besides 4 or 5 guys.
Yeah, you get you top heavy.
But then again, Myles Gaskin, I drafted Jordan Howard thinking he's the only running back there that's going to get carries. And he might have single-digit carries still in the season.
I gotta.
And Myles Gaskin is getting the run I thought Jordan Howard was going to get.
I thought Jordan Howard was a good pick. I really did.
Jordan Howard got like 1,000 yards everywhere he was, and then he got hurt last year. I think he was in.
He was in Philly. Yeah, he was in Philly.
And then he kind of got phased out for Miles Sanders. But when he was in Chicago, the dude was just. I think he led the league in rushing one year. Just like 1,200 yard guy, and then now he can't do anything.
All right. How many yards do you think he has in the season right now?
Can you tell me how many carries he has?
All right, I'll give this to both of you. He has 18 carries. Jake, how many rushing yards do you believe?
Under 25.
Okay, that is.
I was going to say 31.
Okay, I said 31, and you're just saying
under 25.
All right.
$1, Bob.
Jordan Howard on the year has 18 carries for 14 yards. But
he's got 5
touchdowns. He's got 3 freaking rushing touchdowns. He's got 1 reception for -3 yards. So net on the season, he has 19 touches
for
11 yards and 3 touchdowns. You want to talk about a guy who's got nose for the end zone.
That's a 3rd string blocking tight ends. What that is, he would be up there on the list.
Virgil Green.
No.
And Virgil Green's hadn't scored 3 touchdowns.
I was about to say, I think he might have had one with the Chargers and maybe one with Denver.
Golly. All right, so finally, to end the night, what you all came for, a little matchup review. Boys, y'all got a matchup you want to start with? I don't want to start with mine, but I think I'm trying to figure out which ones have already been decided. There's a couple. You know what?
That's fair.
We'll just get out of the way. All right, so I lost in another barn burner. 4 straight losses by less than 10 points. This one came with 3.2. All right, go ahead. Lay into it. Tell me where I messed up.
Well, Bob, I'm looking at your lineup here. You have one fella that did all right. That Giants defense, with the 18.
Hey, that was probably one of my best pickups of the week. Honestly, I only had a couple.
Your
It was
duo,
a lot better than
all right, your duo that just finished the game looked good. You had Pat Mahomes get you 20. Kelsey got you 19. Only problem with that, you started 3 people on that offense.
Yeah.
One of them fellas goose egged you.
Yeah, and he had, I believe, 1 target. I believe that was.
Yeah, I saw that target, and he just flat out dropped it.
Great.
But Derrick Henry almost got you 50.
Yeah. If Derrick Henry would have, if that, so he had a 50-yard reception.
Yeah.
If that would have been a 13-yard run,
Right.
I would have won.
Right.
But just the way these things happen.
If you could have had the Lions' backfield, you would have blown them out.
Yeah.
Swift hadn't stolen touchdowns.
Because Swift had like 120 and 2. I mean, Peterson, I think, still scored, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He scored early in the game.
Yeah.
He scored on the first possession. I felt really good.
Right.
And I'm honestly still happy with that. I mean, I just wanted him to fall into the end zone. If he did, I knew I'd be all right.
Yeah.
What I'm kicking myself about is AJ Green. I
don't know why you're talking about AJ Green. He's not even on your roster.
I drop him, pick up McCall Hardman, thinking, oh man, all I need is one play.
To get one play, you got to get a target or a catch.
I see Snell was 8.6 down there on your bench.
Hey, right back on the snail trail, baby.
Yeah, pickup of the year right there.
He had a
Right back
garbage
on the
time
snail
touchdown.
trail. Hey, I mean, he got more points than Naheem Hines.
I don't know why you're saying that. He's a free agent. He's not on anybody's roster. Why are you bringing that guy up?
Yeah, just not a good week.
Right.
Let's talk about Ramsdale's team.
All right. Do you remember that conversation we had saying that he had the whole
Receivers?
the pairs,
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
games
yeah,
and stuff
yeah.
like that? Those games happen to be very high scoring. The Tennessee-Houston game was a shootout, 42
It was,
46.
man. It was.
The Atlanta game was kind of a blowout, but it was a lot of garbage time for Minnesota. That was 40-23. And he took advantage of all of them.
Yeah. The Baltimore game, let's see.
The Baltimore game was a blowout, and then it ended up being really close, so they had to keep throwing, even though
Yeah, that was the only
Lamar has not thrown for over 200 yards, but I think one time this year.
Yeah. Mark Andrews has been
Mark Andrews,
an
we talked
interesting
about
case at tight end.
He does. If he doesn't score touchdowns, he's not a good fantasy player. But when he does score one, he always scores. It feels like every time it's like it comes pairs.
Yeah, he's all right. So his most catches in a game so far this season is 6. His most receiving yards in a game this season is 58. But he does have 2 games with 2 touchdowns and then 1 game with a touchdown. So that's what's keeping him fantasy relevant. Not saying Mark Andrews is bad by any means, but
Lamar Jackson is capping the entire passing offense. No.
Yeah, and he's capping the running game too.
Yeah.
Mark Ingram, J.K. Dobbins.
Mark Ingram got hurt yesterday.
Yeah. Gus Edwards, none of them really have much. Nobody on that team really has much value. Honestly. Lamar Jackson doesn't have really that much value right now. He does have value, but he's not playing up to his draft capital.
He's hurting the rest of the offense, and his running ability is not helping anybody else. So he's being selfish.
Nope. Shots are fired.
I don't like him.
Yeah, Rams Diddy's team looked good yesterday. Put up the most points this week, 140.
That Watson and Jefferson combo getting 67,
almost
basically.
70 points. Yeah, that's tough to beat. Dude, you look at.
It's tough to beat. You know what? If I had a player that got me almost 50, I think I'd have a shot.
I did. I scored the second most points.
The thing is, it feels like every year when one of our players just goes off, we always lose. I think there's been a couple times where Julio's put up like 50 or 60 or 70, and that person loses.
Yeah.
Josh Gordon puts up
It's just
200 and a couple touchdowns, and that person loses. Just like that offense just works on that one player, but then the rest of your team just says, "Oh, Henry's got this. I'll just take the rest of the game off."
Seriously. I would like to see how many times somebody's had like a week winner, like 35 points plus.
Had the number one overall player.
And then also had somebody in their lineup that got 0.
that played the entire
That played
game.
the entire game. One other thing about Rams Diddy's team that I want to give some props to is his bench, man. His bench looks good. Brandon Cooks, 17.3. Fulgham. He asked me the other night, he said, "Why didn't anybody pick up Fulgham?" And I said, "I just don't know how legit he is. There's just no receivers there."
I already had an Eagles pass catcher
but
that hasn't played all year.
I mean, he don't have to start him because he's really deep at receiver. But
Yeah.
Fulgham looked good. Darius Slayton caught a touchdown. James White did his thing. I mean, the only person that didn't play well on his bench was Tanyan, who he spent,
$28
on. I don't get it. But his team looks good, man. His team looks good, and it looks like he
put up 140 and had Parker leave the game early and Mark Andrews get 3.1.
and Mixon leave the game early.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he left. I'm talking about didn't leave. I think Parker left pretty early in the game, whereas Mixon, I think, went out.
I thought he went out
Second.
Let's see if we can pull it up on their little play.
We left in first half.
Yeah,
20 touches.
Dude, I mean, he could have obliterated me.
Well, they were blowing them out.
They were. He could.
But when you got that old gunslinger over there for Indianapolis, that Phillip Rivers fella, just coming out there throwing 7 different kinds of smoke. Got 9 children he's got to put through college.
I'm glad they won a game.
Yeah, sure. All right, good job, Andrew.
Yeah.
Proud of you. Next matchup, what we got?
Good job. Next matchup. Call it.
I can't call it. Yeah, we can go Jordan and Brian.
Jordan, Brian?
Brian's going to come back on that one.
All right, we'll go Jordan Brown.
I don't know. Every person that I drop just turns into liquid gold. So Murray just threw an 80-yard bomb to Kirk, who's got 2 touchdowns on the night.
Does he really?
Yes.
Well, that Scorpion Michael matchup, we'll save that one for last then because that might get interesting. All right, so let's look at victim of the system.
It's a 1 point for
That
Jeff.
one right there, it's
all right, we'll go to that one last then. All right, so we got victim of the system. Brian versus Jordan of Jordan's team. All right, so I'll say this. Man, Julio Jones looked good coming down with 2 touchdowns. Where's that been for the past 8 years?
I tried to get Jordan to trade me Julio for Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and he wouldn't bite.
Really?
Which, I don't know if I would have either, but he has no running backs.
No,
and he's got a lot of wide receivers, so I was hoping he'd pull the trigger.
Yeah, because he's still got Michael Thomas on the freaking bench because he's hurt. And he's got
and he was on bye.
Yeah, well, that's okay. Better point. He also got Jarvis, which I'm not crazy about. Jerry Jeudy,
and Stephon Diggs, right?
Yeah, Stephon Diggs is in his lineup.
Yeah.
Tyler Boyd. He's got receivers, no doubt.
So I figured I was like, hey, I know you're a Redskin football team fan, whatever you want to call them.
I think he's fine with it.
The fighting Dan Snyder's, but he's got Gibson in there.
I think he's thinking if I can get like 15 to 30 points out of my receivers, it's going to make up for the 5 to 10 I get from my running back. Or everybody else, like sometimes like us, are putting up goose eggs at wide receivers. At least he's getting 5 to 10.
Hold on a second now.
I
think Deontay Johnson put up like 0.3 the other
his
night.
running backs combined for less than 20 out of the 3 he started.
Yeah. Yep.
So
he still put up 130.
Yeah.
Trey Burton was a last-minute addition and ended up scoring 2 touchdowns.
You want to know why? I think we might have peer pressured him into dropping Gronk. Gronk had a good game.
Yeah, Gronk did have a good game.
Honestly, he didn't have a Trey Burton game.
That could give him some momentum. It really could. But yeah, Trey Burton, dude. I'd heard them been talking him up.
I drafted him 2 years ago when he was in Chicago. They're like, he's going to be the guy, and he was not.
He's a Super Bowl hero.
Yeah.
Trey Burton,
really really special.
Yeah, it really is. He's got some raw potential, and he's athletic.
He can't stay on the field. He didn't. I think this might have been like his first or second game back.
Yeah, I think it was his second.
I think he missed the first 3 or 4 weeks.
Mo Alley Cox just got completely phased out.
Well, Mo Alley Cox was on. He was out. He didn't play.
He was out this week. Oh.
Yeah.
Lamar Jackson, fantasy wise, looked good.
Yeah, he had like a 40-yard touchdown run, I think.
Yeah, he did,
which helps.
He looked fast too.
But he doesn't look good passing.
No,
I've watched a lot of Baltimore games. Like, man, I'm gonna watch them, and Marquise Brown's gonna get a long touchdown just to pay it. No, it's terrible. It's absolute. It's hard to watch.
Well, victim of the system came crashing down this week. He's been putting up monster points week in, week out, and this week it just didn't happen.
Jordan is everybody's fantasy kryptonite.
Yes.
He's never projected to win matchups, but for some reason, everybody that he goes against, like they just have terrible weeks.
Yeah,
He's Jordan's MO, and then he gets playoffs, and that revenge game happens against him when he's the number 1 seed, and the 8 seed puts up like 170 on him.
That's true.
I mean, Brian's been putting up what?
I would say
140 to 160. It feels like every
yeah,
week.
yeah. I mean, I would say 130 has probably been like his lowest.
I mean, Hopkins is going now.
Yeah,
But if you look at Brian's matchup, he has Murray's at 18 currently, Calvin Ridley's at 15, and then James Robinson's at 13. Everybody else is in single digits.
Yeah, that Tennessee defense really hurt him. I mean, still got more points than McCole Hardman.
Yeah.
Jamison Crowder, I mean, decent game.
If he could have started Murray and Matt Ryan, he'd have had a shot.
Superflex?
I hate Superflex, but yeah. That was
2 QB?
Well, as much as Kyler Murray's been running, maybe he could be
Running back eligible?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because, I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he's leading the league in yards per carry right now, like 7.2.
I wouldn't doubt it.
They just showed it on the screen about 20 minutes ago, or 20 minutes before.
I've yet to get with my stat checkers. So when I get with my stat checkers,
well, you got a live sports bureau.
We'll verify. We'll
Okay.
verify.
But I mean,
yeah. A weak point on Brian's team that I see.
tight end position. And he continues to start San Francisco running backs that get hurt the week he starts them.
Yeah, Mostert. Yeah, man.
Because he started Mostert. I think Mostert got hurt that one time. He started Jeff Wilson.
Mostert got banged up right before halftime, and then he had 1 carry to start off the third quarter, and they immediately pulled him, and that was it.
Well, look, somebody that I read on Twitter said, "Oh, they're just San Francisco came out and said they're just pulling him as a precaution." And then I get over here tonight, and Jake said, "Yeah, they're talking about putting Mostert on IR."
Yeah,
that's not ideal.
Yeah, they're saying high ankle sprain, likely headed to injured reserve. That Jerick McKinnon pickup looks really good.
I think I spent $1 on him.
You did, and I sat there and said, That's what I said. That's what. Yeah, you ain't gonna.
Julio coming back for Jordan really helped out his roster.
He still don't have his first round pick back.
No,
it's true.
Which next week, he'll go.
He'll go the 3 receivers he's starting. He'll take Freeman out, put Michael Thomas in there, right?
Or take one of the running backs.
Yeah, I mean maybe
so he'll go Thomas, Julio, and Diggs as his wide receivers with Boyd as his flex.
I mean, he'll start 4 receivers.
Tyler Boyd is his number. Yeah, he's got to.
I mean, yeah.
His team, either that or he's starting 2 tight ends.
Where did he get Tyler Boyd from?
I don't know. All right, let's go with the reflection time with Jake Ruth. How do you feel 3 or 4 weeks out from giving up Singletary and Boyd and getting Smith Schuster and Sony Michel?
I dropped Michelle and Juju. Other than the first week where he got me 14, I was like, I got a legit number 1 now, boys.
Yep.
So
everybody's
good.
in trouble.
And then he hasn't cleared 5 points for me. It's been doo-doo. Straight doo-doo. If I Tim Patrick started lineup, I'm telling you.
So you mentioned Juju?
I don't doubt it.
I mean,
I ain't got no
doubt it.
Without Zach, the fact that you traded away Singletary, and I think a couple of days after, Zach Moss decides to miss the next couple of games, and it's just been all Singletary. Did not look good on your part.
I'm an idiot.
Singletary hadn't looked good.
But you didn't know that at the time.
Past 2 games, though.
Right.
I'm still an idiot.
You're not an idiot. Everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah, I dropped Kirk, and he's got 2 touchdowns and over 100 yards.
Look, dude. Look, man. You can't beat yourself up by early
mistakes.
mistakes.
I dropped Josh Allen.
You can't.
You did.
Yeah, but you got Russell Wilson. You wouldn't
I
ever
know.
start Josh Allen over Russell Wilson.
I spent $41 on Naeem Hines.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
He never broke my lineup, and I have since dropped him.
Yeah,
In my defense, I thought we had $200 in fab instead of $100. I should have checked before I spent the money, but my phone on my app doesn't tell you how much you've got as a budget. That's a limitation of Samsung. I think it should be uniform across all devices.
I do think that is something that Yahoo needs to take care of.
For sure.
Do.
So, I mean, if I look at it on my computer, I can see it, but you don't see it on the phone. So
how often do you get on your computer to do fantasy football?
Never.
Okay. Okay, right.
I'll look on yours.
Yeah.
But
That's
because the only time I'm really on a computer is at work for the most part, and I'm not doing that at work because I don't want to get in trouble. But yeah, so I spent $41 on a guy that never broke my lineup, and I was thinking, hey, I'm going to spend about 20% of my budget. I ended up spending 40% of it, basically.
Hold on, I got a bigger question. You can get in trouble for doing fantasy football at work.
I don't know if you can, but I haven't taken that risk.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Just that hypothetical.
Asking for a friend.
Yeah.
Asking for a friend.
All right, so Jordan, good win.
Proud of you, buddy.
Good win, Brian.
You keep on keeping on, man.
Yeah, Brian, you had a rough week, but I'm feeling you'll bounce back.
Hey, Brian, you can talk to Orion. He'll listen.
He gets McCaffrey back, and Robbie Anderson will probably go back in his lineup.
Yeah, I got him next week. He'll have a good week.
All right, let's go to our next matchup. We'll go to Autobahn time. Well, actually, I guess we're reviewing our matchup of the week.
All right.
Autobahn time, J-Bro.
Looked like it was going to be a close one until Kirk, as I've aforementioned, already has him 21.6, and it's not even halftime yet.
Yeah, that totally changed things right there.
Considering he was like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go off of Cooper, who's got 1.2. But Kirk doing that, I mean, that's ball game.
All right. Now, we legitimately thought, okay, first half of this game, if it's kind of high scoring, maybe 22 points between Cooper and Kirk.
Yeah.
16 of those probably being from Cooper, maybe 6 from Kirk. The breakdown right now is 21.6 for Kirk and 1.2 for Cooper.
Yeah.
But hey, math is math. 2 plus 2 is 4, so is 3 plus 1. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Did you want to talk about some
No, I'm okay.
You don't. Okay. You want to talk about some rough starts, man? There were a couple like big name guys that just didn't happen for Reitmeyer. Tyreek Hill only had 4 points. Mike Evans 1.5. Dude, I caught a big game from Mike Evans. I thought for sure, especially him scoring 38 points, man.
Hey.
I'm like, dude, 2 touchdowns. I see it.
All right, we legitimately said, I don't know the exact quote, but I remember you said that you thought Evans was going to score 2 touchdowns.
I did. I still did.
And Brian said, and it was a very specific range, he said, Devontae Adams is going to score at least 27, but
Yes.
no more than 36.
Yeah, he did say that. He did say that.
They combined got 10.6.
Yeah, man. Like, and dude, that was
But Devontae
weird.
Adams blew him out of the water in that matchup.
That's a weird game, man. Like, who would have thought that game would have been so lopsided?
Right.
And Green Bay just looked awful.
They did. I mean, the starters didn't play the fourth quarter.
Dude, they looked terrible.
The 2 best players in this matchup were Pittsburgh's defense and the first half of Christian Kirk for Broach right now.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, their best, I guess, like, positional matchup has been their flex.
The flex.
Yeah, with Christian Kirk and Debo. Debo looked, like, exciting.
And Kenny Galladay had a good game for that. I think they had 4 rushing
It took
touchdowns or
forever
something.
for him to get going too.
Yeah, I think they were running it in so much with Swift and AP that it didn't really happen. But
Yeah.
I mean, that was a blowout.
Broach lost Ingram early.
Yeah.
That hurt. Julian Edelman didn't have a good game. Patriots didn't have a good game.
No, they did not.
But
All right.
that
Going
Pittsburgh,
back to Mike Evans, I heard the stat before this week, and then it was reaffirmed this week. When Chris Godwin plays,
Mhm.
I think Mike Evans has 1 catch, 2 catches, and 1 catch or something like that. His numbers have been horrible when Godwin plays. When both of them play,
Mhm.
Mike Evans has not been good. I mean, one of those games was that 2 catch, 2
two
yards,
two
2
yard
touchdowns.
touchdown. Yeah, that's what I was calling for this pick.
Yeah, but his numbers have not been good as far as target volume with Godwin. So yeah, it was the games that Godwin has played: 4 targets, 2 targets.
Okay. Yeah.
Games without Godwin: 10 targets, 8 targets, 9 targets.
Yeah.
And the games
put up
with-
100+ yards.
Yeah,
in 2
the
of
games
those.
without Godwin: 104 yards and a touchdown, 122 yards and a touchdown, 41 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
Games with Godwin: 1 catch, 2 yards, 1 touchdown, 2 catch, 2 yards, 2 touchdowns. And then yesterday, 1 catch for 10 yards.
That's
So Mike Evans with Chris Godwin shows – actually, it probably just shows that Ronald Jones is running the ball extremely well right now.
is. Mike Evans and Chris Godwin lost fantasy value with Tom Brady over Jameis Winston.
For sure. And I heard somebody say today that when you drafted Godwin and Evans, you were drafting them at their absolute ceiling.
Yeah.
Because both of them last year, defense wasn't as good, running game wasn't as good. So Jameis was throwing the ball a lot. And he was turning the ball over a lot, so they were playing from behind. So those guys had dominant seasons last year. So you were drafting them at their ceiling. This might be their average right here, but you're expecting more out of them because of where you had to draft both of them.
Oh yeah.
Like I drafted Robert Woods as my wide receiver 1. I had the opportunity to draft Evans, and I passed on him.
Yeah.
Not that I thought Evans was not the better player. I don't think Robert Woods is better than Mike Evans. I just think the consistency of Robert Woods was better.
Yeah, and
now Evans might finish the season with more fantasy points than Robert Woods, but I think he's going to have more duds like he put up yesterday than Robert Woods will.
Yeah, and Robert Woods, like there wasn't anything really changing in that offense. But Mike Evans is a lot.
You were just losing an injured Gurley for a 3-headed running back.
Yeah,
but the consistency. But yeah, I mean Mike Evans, he can have those 130-yard games and 2 or 3 touchdowns because he's got that ability. But he also has the ability to just disappear.
True.
And that, unfortunately for your boy, what happened yesterday? And he's going to lose to the old Audubon time.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. He does still have a 3% chance. I'm trying to figure out where that 3% is coming from.
Kirk maybe getting some fumbles.
How many fumbles would Kirk have to have?
He has to
he could have 4, and Cooper could have a couple.
Okay. So you're saying there's a chance.
Negative fantasy points and fumbles and maybe some stat corrections.
He runs the wrong way for negative yards.
Ooh. I guess that could happen. Did you look? He gets tackled. He gets spun around. He gets spun around. Don't know where he's going. Runs the other end zone.
Yeah.
And then fumbles it.
Okay. Do y'all remember the matchup we broke down more than any other matchup in this one? It changed from when we talked about it. But it was Frank Gore and Leonard Fournette.
Yeah, I do remember.
Leonard Fournette got ruled out, so it ended up being Gore and Mark Ingram.
Which was somehow almost worse.
Yeah. But the one I wanted to bring up right before we switch this matchup, JT, this guy tweeted you, so y'all got a connection.
John Allen, all right.
Is he done?
No, he's not done. He had that offense just is not
okay.
Like
he had that one good game, but he's looked slow and he leads the NFL in drops this year. That is not his claim to fame.
I'll give you that part. So
I
don't think there's a lot of chemistry between him and Cam.
But he's the only wide receiver there.
Yeah, he is.
Because N'Keal Harry looks slow.
Yeah.
Demir Bird is Demir Bird.
And then they
don't have Chris Hogan anymore.
I mean, James White, I think, is probably their best receiving option right now, honestly. But I just don't think there's very good chemistry between Cam and Edelman.
I mean, it looked like that one game when he was throwing deep on that.
It did. I don't know. I don't really know what happened.
He's in his mid-30s now. Maybe he is on the decline. I don't know. I mean, I guess that happens when he was getting open and getting separation. Maybe he's just not anymore. Him and Zach Ertz hanging out a lot, I guess.
Possibly. I do want to look at something real quick. Yeah, so his first 2 games had double digits. I just want to see how that reflects in Cam's numbers. I mean, those were Cam's best 2 games by pretty good margin too.
He also played Miami week 1 and Seattle's terrible defense week 2, which that's the one he went off in.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I don't know. Is it a little bit of both? Is it?
I mean, yesterday he was coming off his bye and looked as bad as he looked. So I was thinking, coming off a bye, if it was his age, he had a chance to recover, but he didn't look good.
He'll find a way.
I don't know. I'm just asking. That's your boy, so I wanted to see what y'all's opinion was.
Yeah, he'll find a way.
Hey, you know what he do, though?
Yeah, he can get a poop. Get a poop. All right. Let's see. So I guess all right. Let's go to our matchup between you two fellas.
Well, this ain't over, boys. I mean, it should be, and it probably is. I mean, it's over.
Hold on. Let's not jump to conclusions. You still got a 22% chance of. No, you got 6. That changed real quick when I clicked on it. All right. So I guess I'll go ahead and leave this one off since both of y'all are involved in this. Ryan, you had a lot of guys in the teens.
Yeah,
it's good. Jake, you had some bigger performances. Kittle, AJ Brown, both got you over 20. Fitzpatrick in Miami got you 18, and Ryan, your high scorer, got you 18.9. So that's just a tough one to overcome when
every time Clyde Edwards-Helaire scores a touchdown, it's
overturned.
It's a stupid backside holding penalty or an offensive pass interference on Kelsey, and so they back it up, and then the next play they throw it to Kelsey for a touchdown. Happens every time.
That didn't help me too much,
It made your matchup look a lot closer because that holding penalty that got called back on Clyde Edwards-Helaire, he was already in the end zone when it happened.
Was it really?
Yeah.
I was at the baseball field.
So then the next play, Kelsey gets a touchdown. So that's what, like a 10 or 12 point play for you right
for
there?
me, it was
4 points for Mahomes,
yeah,
6 for Kelsey, and
that's
then
10,
like
and then
10
the
yards or
yards,
whatever
yeah.
it was, and the catch.
Yeah,
It
it's
made
about
your
12
matchup
points.
look like a whole lot closer than it
That's
was.
true. That's true. It's about 12.
I mean, not saying that Jake, I was going to beat Jake on this one, but
Jake, I commend you on scoring the points that you have with John Brown with the goose egg and Juju with 1.6.
And CeeDee Lamb right now with the goose egg.
CeeDee Lamb with a goose egg.
And
Zeke's with 2 fumbles.
I mean, I don't know, Jake. I mean, we've talked about this so many times.
I'll drop him.
Tim Patrick is your
I
best
know.
player.
I know. I'm an idiot.
I don't know what
I have a backstabbing family that tries to sabotage my fantasy.
Way to go, Tyler. You
And
jerk.
if you listen to this, which you don't, but I
Not
sit
yet.
there and he just says, Tim Patrick. I said, dude, he's getting targets and locks back this week. And I try to make my case for him. He goes, that shit's sad. The other sad part is that twice he got interfered with in the end zone.
He could have had a much bigger.
If you actually look at his targets, I think he caught 4, was targeted 8 times.
Who we talking about?
Tim
Patrick still?
Yes. He
You
was
talking about that offense?
8 targets, 4 receptions, 101 yards, and he got pass interfered in the end zone once. The other time they didn't call it, but he was. I thought it was. Even the announcers kind of said something about him being interfered with. So I like him getting red zone targets. He's becoming a big play for him. I mean, I don't know his fantasy value really moving forward, but it can't be worse than what Juju's been for the last 3 weeks.
That offense didn't score a touchdown yesterday. But they looked better with Drew Lock, but they still didn't look great. But if Tim
Drew
Patrick
McManus had 6 field goals.
yeah, but if Patrick's getting that kind of targets, it's only a matter of time.
Volume's
scores,
key.
right?
Yeah, volume's key. Can't beat volume.
Daggone Juju, man.
I just like that Brown's look good on his return. I think it leads to a more balanced offense, which not only helps Brown, but I also think it helps open up the running game more, which I thought that's why they looked so good yesterday. That offense looks really
I thought they
good.
looked. I mean, they scored 40+ points.
It's
past
like
2
as soon
weeks.
as they
yeah.
load the box, they take shots to Brown, and
Yeah.
when they start dropping people off, they're like,
Yeah.
all right, Henry, go run down their
Dude,
throat.
that's a. I mean,
It's a
honestly,
dangerous
dude,
game.
that might be the best team.
If
in
they can
football
fix
right
their
now.
defense.
Yeah,
No
they-
offense,
they-
their defense is
Pittsburgh's the
giving up
best
some-
team in football right now.
Think so?
Yeah.
I mean, they
The
did
defense.
run through Cleveland.
And you were
38-7.
talking about last week, Cleveland's for real, and they
Dude.
just made Cleveland look like the old Browns. I agree, but
I think
freaking Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield should not have played yesterday. Watching a lot of that game, he was
hurt.
wearing that flak jacket,
Yeah.
could barely move,
And he
but he
couldn't
wasn't
take a
getting
shot.
rid of the ball.
Yeah.
And he was taking Bud Dupree looked like he was about to rip him in half a couple different times. Like, this is not good.
Devin Bush went down.
He's out, torn ACL.
Yeah,
Yeah, that hurts
that's a
the
loss.
defense.
That's
I mean,
a loss. Yeah.
that was one thing. It's when you played Pittsburgh, you could see it week 1 against Saquon. I don't care if you're going to try to dump the ball off the running back to try to slow down that pass rush. That dude is so athletic. He was covering a bunch of ground, which they don't have him anymore.
That's a big loss for them.
For
Dude, I mean, that was I guess, just an odd game for you because you got Big Ben. They scored 38 points.
I was pissed. That's why I was watching that game. I was like, all right, let's see how Big Ben looks and see if I was kind of hoping that the offense would struggle just a little bit. Like, all right, they really need Deontay Johnson back. And it didn't matter because Baker throws a pick 6 to Minkah Fitzpatrick, and then he threw another pick. And that offense wasn't moving the ball, so Pittsburgh had good field position, and they just ran it down their throats. And then when they get to the red zone, they're like, you know what? We could pass the ball. We could just let Chase Claypool get a little end around or something like that.
which
to
is
score,
now become
'cause,
one of their favorite plays.
I mean, when you got Mapletron doing Mapletron things, I mean, it's hard to stop.
Mapletron doing Mapletron things. I guess big thing that stuck out for me, especially after I called Aaron Jones having a big game, was Aaron Jones not having a big game. Rodgers just did not look good.
That whole.
Yeah,
I mean,
I honestly, it was the entire offense.
I didn't get to watch the game, but I heard it was just a shellacking.
It was. Yeah, dude. I thought Aaron Jones was going to have a much bigger game. Jamal Williams got more work than I thought. I saw you picked
if
him
you
up.
watch the
Who,
Packers,
Aaron Jones?
Jamal
Williams.
He got more work than I thought he would.
he gets a lot of. He's on the field a lot, but just Jones is super efficient.
Yeah.
But I mean, Jamal Williams, he's a good player. I wish he didn't play as much as he did.
All right, my question for you, Ryan.
I got a question for you before you ask your question.
Okay.
You said this matchup was going to come down to the wide receiver 3
I was
matchup.
wrong.
I won that. So
You
hopefully,
did.
hopefully this game we're in this playing right now.
I did say, I said wide receiver 3 and then tight end matchup. Tight end matchup, you got blown out of the water.
Did I?
I mean, John is really good, but when he gets hurt,
Yeah.
But my question to you, Ryan,
I had no shot.
does Marquise Brown come out the lineup?
Absolutely. I'm not playing him next week.
So, are you going T. Higgins?
Trade him to me. I'll take a 7.7 at this point in my life.
Baltimore's on bye next week.
I don't. It's,
No, I don't
it's the
mean like
same thing
going
John
for it.
Brown gave me.
No,
You,
because I can't bench him because he's one of those players that
even when you get
he's gonna
Deontay
get-
Johnson back,
he's going to get 7 or 8, but then he's also got the chance to get 20,
That's
and
how,
you never know which week it's going to be, so you got to put him in.
it's like
That's
Cole
how I'm
Hardman,
still
man.
feeling about even Juju, man. It's like, do I really want to put Juju in when it comes to a shootout and they need the possession receiver and
Yep.
he starts sitting in the middle? Because eventually teams are going to start playing over Claypool and Johnson for the deep threats and allow Juju to beat them underneath. Because that's right now they're taking the underneath away. And I'm just waiting for him to go back in the slot and just sit like Brandon Marshall and just work the 10 and in and just say, I'll take – like at this point, I take 10 catches for 70 yards, like 7 yards a catch. I'm fine with that. As long as one of those maybe every once in a while scatters in with a touchdown, 10 catches or let's even say 7 catches would be great, or 8 to make it that's 4 points plus maybe 60 yards. I mean, you're looking at 10 points.
Yeah.
Compared to 1.6s and stuff like that.
and then Zeke's just having a bad game,
Right.
which
I still bet in the second half he comes out and at least gets 1 touch. I've been walking back and forth and looking. Dallas offense looks absolutely horrible under Andy Dalton.
Well,
When's their bye?
Who picked him up? Who spent money on him?
Score.
Score spent a good amount of money on him.
Yeah.
Their bye is week 10.
It was
Yeah.
$15.
For I think it's
15 or 16, yeah. But going back to your Juju point, I was watching that game past couple weeks. I watched Pittsburgh play just for Deontay and then watching him yesterday for Big Ben. Like, Juju's run those shallow crosses, and he's open.
Yeah.
But then you look over his shoulder like 10 yards down the field, and James Washington's open, or Chase Claypool's open, and Big Ben's like, all right, I could take that guaranteed pass to Juju, or I can throw it deep to the other guy that's open, and that's what he's been doing. Like, so it's I don't know if it's a scheme thing that they're just getting multiple players open on the same play.
And maybe, and I think some of it even has to do with a lot of teams still game plan for a Juju shutdown and let the other ones, because I mean they're young guys that are a little unproven. But my only hope, just from a fantasy owner, and it could not happen, it could be what I continue to see, but my only hope is that eventually they kind of either low boxes or they too high safety and really bail over the top, and that's where Juju's able to make a living.
Or teams just start running zone against him.
I think once
he can't beat man to man. He's got to go get some.
I agree with that. All right, any last words on this matchup?
Yeah. Jake,
Go ahead, talk about it. Talk about it.
and this is
I thought you were going to talk about my bench.
well, I'm talking about one player on mine, one player on yours, and we'll get to that in a second.
Hold up.
Do you? Yeah, we'll talk about it in a second. I texted him about it today. I even sent a screenshot and everything. Do you think that our Dallas wide receivers are going to still be playable under Andy Dalton? I haven't watched a single minute of this game where Andy's playing.
I thought so, because I thought last week when he came in, he hit Gallup on a deep one twice, and his favorite target before that was CeeDee Lamb, because CeeDee Lamb just keeps winning the middle of the field. And for a guy that don't want to scan the field a lot, just keep looking in the middle and hitting the guy that's working up in there. I thought there was fantasy value there. I have to go in there and watch some more of the game.
Yeah.
It's a disappointment. I just went and looked at score. Andy Dalton's only got like 82 passing yards right now.
Yeah.
So it's not like the dude's lighting it up right
So
now.
he's on that Lamar Jackson track without the rushing.
I also saw a couple of pressures. He don't look comfortable in the pocket, where Dak had a little bit more escapability.
And that offensive line is a lot worse than it was.
They've had some bang ups.
They don't.
Couple weeks ago.
The only starter from their offensive line from week 1 that's still out there is Zach Martin, and I think he's had multiple games where they've had to move him out to tackle because the tackle gets hurt mid-game.
Yeah.
But Tyron Smith's out for the year. Looney, I think, is out for the year. Lyle Collins is out for the year. I mean, they've lost a ton of guys, which that was the bread and butter of their team, which I think that might be why Zeke's struggling, even though he looked good despite that last week.
Yeah.
But what I was going to say, last thing about this matchup, because Jake's got it in the bag, and I don't know if either one of us are going to clear 100. But if you look at Jake's bench, I'm the only Chargers fan y'all know, I think.
You might. I think you're the only.
I might be the
Chargers
only
fan
one.
on the East Coast.
I might be the only one in the state. My old gamer tag on PlayStation was East Coast SD fan. My first year at Lincoln, we had kind of like the Dundies on the office, and they called them the Phillies. And my award said the only Chargers fan in North Carolina.
Ah.
But if you look at Jake's bench, we have 2 IR spots and 5 bench spots, right? 6 bench spots. Jake has 3 Chargers on his bench, so half his bench are Chargers and half of his IR is a Charger.
You're gosh darn right it is.
I'm not saying that I love the Chargers. They got a good offense. They're 1-5 or 1-4. 1-4. They didn't play this. He almost lost the bye yesterday, but they pulled it out.
So me and Ryan talked about it earlier. I actually picked up Justin Jackson, who looked like the better running back in the first game without Eckler. Now, Eckler is my IR spot, which was my second-round pick, who had started to find a rhythm in that offense with Herbert, who checks it down to a running back a lot.
Like you're supposed to.
Yes, and so Eckler was looking very good in that role, felt very good about him moving forward. In some ways, I thought he might compete for RB1 on my team, as many catches as he was getting. Now, he was getting an insane amount of targets. He was getting 10 targets.
With Eckler and Herbert, he was putting up RB1 numbers.
And then I've held on to Mike Williams all year because he's big play. Well, my thinking behind it is Keenan Allen's your underneath guy, and I wanted the over-the-top guy. And that's Mike Williams. And the first game with Herbert and him kind of healthy, he goes for 100 and some yards and 2 touchdowns. So I like Mike Williams. I like him moving forward. I think even Keenan Allen comes back because he attracts so much attention from secondaries that if he gets one-on-one matchups, Herbert's just going to unload it.
He does a beautiful big
He
ball.
does. And so I like the big play possibility there. And then Reitmeyer dropped Kelly, which was many people thought was going to be the running back when Eckler got hurt.
Yep.
And Jackson's, as Ryan has told me before, is injury prone. So if Jackson goes down with an injury, it's almost a handcuff. And I don't think Jackson will get any red zone carries. I think Kelly will get anything inside the 10. Kelly will be your running back, unless it's 3rd and goal and they're looking for a swing pass. So I picked up Kelly to kind of handcuff it. I mean, obviously I picked both of them up to kind of.
You handcuffed the entire roster.
Well, the whole run backfield. I handcuffed the entire backfield, and I think from watching the games that they use the running backs a lot in their passing game, and then they got to open up the deep ball with some runs underneath. So
I think they had the 3rd most rushing attempts going into last week, I think. So, I mean, they run the ball a lot, and their coach was a former running back that played with the Broncos with Terrell Davis.
You don't get to talk to too many other Chargers fans, do you?
got a running
This is
back.
the first one I've ever sat at a table with.
I got a running back on bye next week, and with other injuries, I might start both of the Chargers running backs next week.
I like locking down backfields.
Tim Patrick?
Tim Patrick's going in for.
Okay. I had to throw
Tim
his name
Patrick's
one more
going
time.
in. Don't you worry about that.
All right.
If I don't start Tim Patrick, one of you have the ability to punch me in the face next week,
Dibs.
unless he's on bye, because then that'd be a
They
shame.
already had that.
You said what you said.
That's
Dibs.
right.
All right, so our last matchup, and it is a
Kansas
close.
City. He's going off. You heard it here first. Shootout. Thriller Manila.
All right, so we got Scorp and the 08 Lions.
Come on, Michael. Come on, buddy.
So this matchup,
Come
man,
on, buddy.
it looked like Michael
Burn.
was about to freaking blow Scorp out of the water. But Michael had Mike Gesicki get a goose egg. So that's been a trend tonight. And then Cooper Kupp coming up way short.
That's what when y'all got here, or when you got here, that's what we were talking about, was that Michael looked like he was going to get his first win. He was dominating after the 1 o'clock games, and then the 4 o'clock game starts between the Jets and the Dolphins. Gesicki goose eggs him. Looking good going into that game last night. Kupp and the defense get him, 5.6 combined?
Yeah. He had a projected between those three, let's see, 20, 30 points. 30 plus points.
Yeah.
And they got him a total of 5 points.
How much money did Scorp spend on Madison again?
Madison?
I think
He drafted
Madison.
him.
Oh, he did?
Yeah,
Okay.
he drafted Madison.
It was Dalton with 16 and then someone
Claypool.
With 31.
Claypool.
Yeah, he spent a bunch of his money on those two and Mike Davis.
Oh, so this matchup just went to 50-50. It just went to 50-50. So this is coming down, dude. This is coming down between freaking Andy Dalton, Kenyon Drake. Who's going to outscore who the rest of this second?
You know what we're going to call this matchup? The race to 90.
The race to 90. I mean, you might be right, dude, because neither one of them projected to top 90.
Hey, I'm saying that as a guy who's projected right now to finish with 86, but I don't have a chance to win my
Well,
matchup.
here's my question: Would you rather Would you rather lose?
I'd rather get blown out than lose a close match.
Okay,
That's
all right.
what you're
Okay,
going to ask.
that's. I've asked that.
I'd rather
before.
just stop caring. At some point, just throw your phone down like it doesn't matter this week.
It was that Tennessee Houston game that I was watching. As soon as I saw Jonnu go down, as soon as I saw AJ Brown get his second touchdown, I said, "Well, I'm just going to stop caring about fantasy and just enjoy football this week."
Yeah. Michael picked up Kirk Cousins. We talked about Kirk Cousins on Friday's show. That again, maybe he has a big game for 30 minutes of that game. It did not look like it. It looked like Michael just made another big mistake at QB.
How is Kirk Cousins going to get shut out by Atlanta?
Yeah, and then Kirk Cousins drops essentially 26 points in the second half,
throwing 98% of them to one player.
Yeah. Don't even get me started. Will Fuller, dude. All right, I want to look at Will Fuller real quick because everybody, I guess, in the fantasy football community said Will Fuller is going to be huge this year.
I'm gun shy on him.
I'll tell you.
I still am because he's injury prone, but dude, his stats, his game log looks good. No game less than 13.4.
He got hurt against Baltimore,
and that
and
was
barely played. He got 0.
Yeah. Okay.
I think that was.
Yeah.
Was that week 2?
That was week 2. You're right. He did have that 0. He got hurt very early.
Yeah, because he was on a run. It was a run.
Yeah.
I think he was running the ball and pulled up with a hamstring or something.
But dude, other than that, 15.2, 13.4, 19.8, 13.8, 21.3. He looks good.
He's filling the shoe. Like he's, I guess, playing a similar role that he played last year without.
Yeah, just
but
now
he's got DeAndre Hopkins not there, so he's just getting more of those high value targets down the field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Will Fuller.
He's looked good.
Yeah, he's looked good. And
if Drake gets a touchdown, it's over.
And why we got to say that? Why? We can just spread him out. He's already got a touchdown.
No, I'm looking at it now. He's like 7.9 projected at 12.84, and they got a good lead on a defense that's horrible.
Okay,
and he gets.
It's tough in case Andy Dalton does catch some fire during
he's
during garbage time.
He's
still
projected to get 9
points. Yeah, but you know how garbage time can.
Yeah, I mean,
so
it's a blowout. So let's just take
something
Drake
never
out.
done before. Call your winner since it's a 50-50 and the game's going on. Who do you think is going to outscore who?
I still think Scorps got. Something just happened.
Call it now before you look at it. Stop, cheater. Call it.
What do you mean, cheater?
You're trying to look at it. Call it.
I'm still going to call Scorp just because, again, I think Andy Dalton in garbage time can find a touchdown or two and maybe some decent yardage.
Well, I called Michael on Friday night, and I was the only person I think that's called him to win
hold
a
on.
single matchup.
This will not affect our standings in our pick'ems.
No, those picks aren't
this is
decided.
just
We're
fun.
just, it's a confidence meter.
I take that pretty serious.
I think Drake is about to get a lot of carries here with the 21-3 lead.
No, he's not. Chase Edmonds is going to.
He just got 3.
I'm just joking.
He just got 2 more points. So he just got 20 more yards.
Yeah, he got 2 more carries since we started talking.
Good.
Yeah, this is, man, you talking
the
about on edge.
The second half just started.
Yeah.
And they're starting to pull away.
Who would have thought? I mean, I know that we all thought Dallas was going to take a hit, but
for sure.
Yeah, it's don't look good. On Michael's team also, James Conner. Dude, James Conner keeps doing his thing, man. And okay, it might be Michael. Dude, James Conner, he had that rough week 1 against the Giants, 6 carries, 9 yards, got banged up. The snail trail got hot. And dude, since then, 19.1, 22.9, 13.8, 16.7, James Conner is back, ladies and gentlemen. That's Michael's best player.
Drake has doubled his rushing yards in the last since we started talking about this matchup.
He has. What if the Michael curse is reversing now?
You're welcome.
Maybe now it's going to be whoever plays Michael.
I play him next week.
Sucks to suck.
Hey, I threw you a bone, buddy. Throw it back. We'll share it. We'll lay you in the trampet like a spaghetti noodle.
Okay, so Ryan wants a bone to share.
Throw me another guy.
Okay.
Throw me a freaking bone here.
Yeah, he's gonna bone you, all right.
Okay. Scorp's team. Miles Sanders got banged up. Looked good, 118 yards, but they're saying that he is going to miss Thursday night.
He's not playing, yeah.
Boston Scott.
You don't have him. You haven't had him in a long time.
I dropped him. Boston Scott looks like he might get some run there. Madison
looked like he was going to get a lot of run.
I thought so. Madison is going to find his way back to the bench.
He got 10 carries for 26 yards.
Yeah. And after last week with 20 carries, 112, and just looked electric in that second half.
Woogie.
I mean,
DJ Moore, I think, outpaced Robbie Anderson, I think, as far as yards, maybe 2 straight weeks. So he might be starting to come
he's
on.
had 93 back-to-back weeks.
Yeah. I mean, Robbie Anderson's still playing really well.
Yeah, he is.
But DJ Moore's starting to get incorporated in that offense, I guess.
The Chase Claypool ad looked really good. 4 catches, 74 yards. Also had some rushing statistics that I'll have to find.
He had a touchdown.
Rushed twice, 7 yards for a touchdown.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all we need there.
And Mike Davis came back to earth.
He got hurt.
I know, but I'm just saying
Yeah.
Since he's had him, it's been 19, 19, 25. I mean, he still put up 10, but it hasn't been RB2, RB1 type numbers that he's been getting out of his flex past couple weeks.
That's true. So, I mean, what else is there really to say about this matchup?
Did everybody have one player that got at least less than 5? I think that might be the first week that's happened.
It might be. Michael's
got
5.
5 of them.
He's got 5 players that got less than
Did
5.
Gesicki play?
Yes.
Okay.
You have to ask, though.
Like, if somebody goose eggs, there's always that chance, like, all right, maybe he didn't play. Maybe he tried to do it in warm-ups and just couldn't play.
All right, Ron, let's look at that. All right, so Michael had 5 players under 5. Scorp had 1. He might have 2, depending on Andy Dalton. I will say this about Scorp's team before I move on to that. Ronald Jones had 25 on his bench. David Montgomery had 11.7 on his bench. They would have both outscored Mike Davis, and they would have both outscored Madison, and Montgomery would have tied Miles Sanders. Is there a problem with Scorp's team having too much depth? Because he's got Alvin Kamara and DK Metcalf on his bench because they were on bye.
No, because, I mean,
well, I don't think
he's going to take Madison out.
Madison's not going to have too much.
Madison's going out for Kamara.
And then
And
Mike
then
Davis's
Mike
value
Davis
will take a big hit with.
What do you do about those receivers? Obviously, you're starting DK. Who you take out?
I take out Claypool
Claypool?
or try to move him.
I think your flex opens up.
Okay, so you start. All right, Miles Sanders is going to miss this week, but let's look
Well,
2 weeks in the future.
Miles Sanders and Kamara, and then you're looking at maybe a Montgomery or a Claypool in the flex.
What do you do about Ronald
putting
Jones?
Ronald
That's my
Jones.
thing.
I'm putting Ronald Jones.
I think he's got. I think he needs to move somebody because I think that he's got a little bit more depth than he does starting lineup. Like,
Right.
But how do you trade it? That's my problem.
yeah.
So what are you?
He needs a tight end. Bad.
We're gonna offer him, but then you're like anything I offer for it is not gonna be. I mean, even Hawkinson's not that bad.
Hawkinson just came down to a touchdown.
I mean, he's one of the top tight ends in the league. Come on, guys, be honest.
I mean he's 14,
he's-
8, 7, 9, 8.
It's okay.
Well,
It's
I mean,
okay.
who do you? I mean, there might be 4 guys that you might put over him. 5 guys. As much as Detroit still throws the ball and he's a threat.
He had.
So give me a hypothetical trade since you're pondering on it.
I am pondering.
Well, I'd offer like Darren Waller.
See, I don't think
I'm sorry that everybody needs tight ends.
See, I don't think Waller's worth any of his receivers.
I don't think so either.
I think Waller's worth DJ Moore.
No, not even close. I'd veto that immediately.
So DJ Moore has 3 games under 7.5, and Darren Waller.
With the potential there, yeah, I would veto that one.
You'd veto it on what like regard?
I mean, Waller has similar stats as the Moore, and then Moore's has continued to go up.
Okay, so Darren Waller. We're looking at.
I would think the DJ Moore side would win that trade, but I don't know if I could veto it.
Okay, so he's had 2
Just out of
games.
positional
He's
need.
had 1 game with less than 7.4, and DJ Moore's had 3 of them.
That was New England.
And yeah, that was New England. He's got 3 double-digit games. He's got 8 targets, 16 targets, 4 targets, 12 targets, 7 targets.
If you're
He's getting targeted more than DJ.
If you're
Moore.
trading somebody
I
to
don't get
score,
that.
you're trading a quarterback and a piece to get a piece. Because he's got Andy Dalton and Justin Herbert as his only 2 quarterbacks. So if you're trading with Scorp, you're giving up a quarterback and something.
Well, I'd have to pick up a quarterback.
Yeah, well, if you're going to pick up a quarterback, he could just do that same maneuver.
Could, but I got a little more fab. I'm like,
He got like $14?
yeah, he ain't got much. He ain't got much.
But I mean, yeah, he's got a good squad. It's just he doesn't have anybody that's so good that you can't. Well, Metcalf and Kamara are
Right,
obviously
the two
gonna
that
start
are
every
on
week.
bye for sure.
But it's the rest of them. Like it's almost a coin flip of who you take out, and who you start.
Right, and that's the issue that I would see. Like if I was the owner of this team at running back, is I wouldn't know who to start because last week I know he didn't start Miles, and if he had started Miles, it'd have been a different story too.
Well, last week Miles just had that one long run, right?
Yeah, he did. He did.
But he didn't look good besides that.
No, played Pittsburgh. I mean, I get the sit. But
yeah. I mean, I think you start Ronald Jones and Kamara every week, and then you play the matchups for your flex. Because I mean, this might be the last usable week of Mike Davis and the last usable week of Alexander Madison, so that depth goes down a lot if you just take those completely out.
Fournette coming back on Ronald Jones, who don't forget he got all the carries because he was out.
Well, I think watching him, I think Fournette just had that one good game in garbage time, and the rest, like Ronald Jones, actually looked good.
Yeah, Ronald Jones
for like a month straight.
Yeah,
he just had that one game. That one game
there's any impact.
No, not really. I mean, because I think you have to do something to take him out of the lineup. I don't think Fournette's a good enough pass blocker to get in there. And if you played with Tom Brady, if you don't pass,
it is kind of nice to see Ronald Jones, who they've been big on for like 2 or 3 years, that hadn't really put it together.
Right.
Finally having
3 straight games with 100 yards.
Yeah, I mean, Leonard Fournette could cut into that workload for sure. But I think if you developed a chemistry with Tom Brady, he's a guy that
keep you on the field.
Yeah, he'll say, hey, you're keeping Jones on the field. I don't care how much you think Fournette's the future or whatever. But I think Ronald Jones has played well.
Yeah,
I mean, I did say that I think Fournette's going to get cut. So
I'll listen to that back today. Actually, I said I thought Fournette's going to take the job. I don't think that anymore. I think I was wrong.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be anything more than a 50-50 split if Fournette comes back.
Yeah,
I don't think Fournette takes the job outright unless Jones gets hurt or if he starts being ineffective. But he's been effective.
All right, so that's about all we got for this week. We'll take a look at some standings on Thursday's show, or excuse me, not Thursdays, on our preview show for Week 7. Take a look at some standings, both in our pick'em and in our league. Until then,
catch you on the flip side, gentlemen.
Catch you on the flip side, yeah. I like it.
Later, boys and girls.